two things need to happen today. One, I gotta give you a full explanation about what's going on with Bubbles Barn Cat. And two, these new barred rock chicks and the little goslings in here are outgrowing this little brooder. And I'd like to get them moved into their new coop today. Chonk, are you hunting the meat chicks? Hey, you better not be hunting the meat chicks. Yeah, I'm talking to you, big guy. Okay, let's get right down to business and talk about Bubbles. Bubbles is a beautiful black and white barn cat. Some people call them tuxedo cats because they're completely black and white. She was born here on the farm. She's the daughter of Maggie May, and she's the sibling of Tango, Mango, and Chewy. The quick version of the story, when it was time to take the 4 kittens to the vet, I had a hard time getting Chewy and Bubbles. And I actually ended up netting them with a net, which was a mistake. I ended up moving them to a room here in the barn, and I locked them up in this barn for several months while I worked on somewhat taming them because they had gone pretty wild, pretty feral. I couldn't pet them. They were hissing at me, biting at me. It wasn't good. Now we got Chewy to a point where he can be released. He won't wear a collar, but he's doing very well. He's around, he's hunting, he's catching mice, he's protecting the barn. He hasn't wandered away anywhere, and he knows that this barn is his home. Bubbles, on the other hand, didn't make the same progress as Chewy, and we decided to bring her home to our house. We let her go in the house after a couple days of being in the cage, and she seemed, to enjoy her surroundings, and she was exploring the house. But truthfully, folks, it was a huge mistake. Because, the house has a lot of hiding places. Bubbles was just hiding the entire time. My cat allergies were really acting up. I was getting hives and I was having trouble breathing at times. And my asthma was kicking in because of it. And Bubbles was pooping and peeping all over the house. We had 3 litter boxes for her. 1 in the basement, 1 on the main, actually 2 in the basement, 1 on the main level. She was pooping on top of the sofa. She was peeing in the cushions of the sofa, and it's like a nice leather sofa, like it's half ruined now. And it was a mistake in hindsight. I know that Bubbles is a beautiful kid. I know that she almost looks like she should be an indoor cat, but that's not meant to be. So it's been a couple days now. I brought Bubbles back. She's in this cage. And I can now put my hand in there, and she's not growling or hissing at me. She's somewhat allowing me to pet her head, which is a good sign. And sadly, because of all these decisions and mistakes that I made with this cat, I'm going to let her out right now, really. And she's going to be locked up in this room the same way I did with her and Chewy before. And I'm going to see how that goes. Now that she's a little bit more comfortable with my hand going in the cage, we'll see, but she's going to have to be barn trained just like Chewy. So of course what I'll be doing all the time now, hopefully several times whenever I'm here, coming in, visiting with Bubbles, making her feel more comfortable. Now that she's out of the cage, she's a little bit scared again, as if this is a whole new surroundings again, because I keep moving this cat around. She's in the catio, she's in the cat house. She came to our house, then she came back in here for a few months, then she went back to the house for a few weeks, and now she's back in here. So it's gotta be extra stressful on this cat, all because of my mistakes. It's almost like I'm gonna have to start all over again with this girl. But it took her a couple days in the cage, and then I was able to pet her, so I'm hopeful maybe a couple days being loose, then I'll be able to pet her too, I hope, just like Chewy. Once I can pet her a little bit, and there's many days consecutive where I'm comfortable that she's, relaxed enough to come to me and I can pet her slightly, then I'll just release her. She can be Chewy's partner in the barn for now. Who knows where Chewy went? He went out that window. He's probably out hunting. He's not going to have access to Bubbles in the interim until I'm comfortable enough that the two of them are not going to fight, you know? But hopefully they still remember each other. They were only separated for a short time. Okay, that's enough talking about all my mistakes with the barn cats. I told you I'm not giving up on them. I'm somewhat successful with Chewy, although I can't get a collar on him, but he's not feral anymore, so that's a success in my eyes. We just got to do the same thing with Bubbles. She's a tough egg to crack, for sure, because she's been taking the same amount of time as Chewy, and Chewy came around nicely, but not her. She's so scared all the time. But I'm not giving up on her, that's for sure. Many of you know about the Chateau du Poulet. The Chateau du Poulet is 2 years in the works. It's an 8-sided octagonal chicken house, and it's supposed to have 7 coops. But it doesn't have 7 coops, it only has 6 coops, because I have yet to finish this coop. MJ, what are you doing in Elvis's coop? Hey, what are you doing in here? See, this is one of the effects with having all of the breeds out. So basically, Michael Jackson is in Elvis Presley's coop. If Elvis comes back and finds Michael Jackson in his coop, there's gonna be hell to pay. I don't want to see that in action. I gotta figure that out. Some of you guys were asking, how are we gonna handle the segregation moving forward? And really, segregation is all about breeding, you know. We decided long ago to have purebreds, and we were selling chicks, purebreds. We were selling hatching eggs, purebreds. So you need to keep your birds separate, otherwise they'll mate with each other, and that's just not good. Because now I'm able to free range all the birds, what happens? They can go wherever they want. See, there's Elvis down there, and MJ is in his coop. So of course, I'm gonna monitor the situation. If ever I decide to breed or I need to hatch chicks, I'm just gonna keep those hens with that rooster in the coop for a few weeks until I can collect all the eggs, and then I'll incubate those eggs. But for now, I'm not doing that. So it's okay that they're all out. They can mate with each other, that's fine. I honestly don't think they're mating with each other. If ever I absolutely had to, I could easily just have some divider fences in here, and that would keep them separate for the most part. But I don't mind if they intermingle. I don't mind if they even mate when I'm not breeding. So it's not a big deal. So MJ was just mating with the Rhode Island that's in with Elvis Presley's black leghorns. So there's the answer. They will mate with other flocks. So back to this 7th coop. A couple days ago, I started working on the front boards here, and I got the nesting boxes installed. I just need to continue making the framing and the door of the nesting boxes. And I just need a door for the coop, and then I can move these goslings and young chicks. The 2 little baby chicks are still alive. They're still doing well, and they're investigating their new little brooder coop here. So I got the door framing all done. I just need to get some chicken wire on it, get it hung with some hinges, and then there's no way that these chicks and goslings can get out. But that's all easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay. See the goose? I got rid of most of the other eggs in there. There was a few more eggs and a few more eggs, but they were all rotten, so I took them out. I think there's a duckling under there. Hey, are you gonna let me get that duckling? Duckling! She hatched a duckling for me. Olive, you see the duckling? Be nice to the duckling. You're gonna go live in here with these two chicks. There's the water, and there's the food. Okay? Now you stay under here where it's warm. Okay? I had 2 duck eggs in here. This one was in there the same amount of time, but I don't know. I'll try to candle it and see if there's something in there. I'll give it a few more days. But at least that hen was sitting, so that's a good thing. I also have a handful more duck eggs. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more duck eggs. While this hen is sitting, I'm gonna try to keep these duck eggs here, and maybe that one will hatch. The trouble is the ducks aren't being very good mothers right now. Are you gonna sit on those eggs for me? Are you gonna sit on those eggs? You're not sitting on them right. Is there too many in there? Okay, I'm counting on you. I'm counting on you, girlie, okay? Here, I'm gonna slide it in. Okay, hen? Ooh. You gonna fix it? Oh, brother, that was a lot of work. Look how brand new the new coop looks compared to all the old wood. Got the custom-made nesting box right here. I got a roost out front so they can get in and out. I got roosts set up over here, the doors in, and I got a chicken wire window so I can peek in on them. So at least now these guys are out of the brooder, and I'm going to keep them contained for a little while longer, and then I'm just going to work on getting them out into the run. I'm in Elvis Presley's flocks run right now. They have one section there, they have the section that I'm standing in, and they have this section right here. So that coop that I was just fixing up today, that's this one. So I already have a divider over here dividing MJ and Elvis, but what I'm gonna have to have is another divider over here dividing Elvis and these new barred rock, because I'm not letting these chickens out with the adult chickens anyways. So it's okay, I got a little bit more time. The chickens have mostly put themselves to bed already, so that's great news. There was just a couple of Rhode Islands. Elvis is out here with a couple of hens. I gotta corral them in, and it's easy peasy. Time to go to bed. Let's go. Time to go to bed, chickens. Time to go to bed, guys. Elvis, get back in the run. Come on, buddy. Elvis, don't give me a hard time. Come on, man. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. All the chickens are back in their respective coops, which is good. Less work for me to do now to close up the day. But let's go back and check in with my girl Bubbles in the barn. Hopefully she's settling into her new home. Well, it's not new. She's already been in there to her old home again. Bubbles? Bubbles? You okay? Come here. Bubbles? Come here. Bubbles, come on, Bubs. I guess I'm just gonna have to give my girl Bubbles here a little bit more time to get used to herself here. Hopefully I can accomplish the same thing that I did with Chewy. I knew that I was allergic. It's nothing new. I've been allergic to cats since I was a kid. But I just wanted to try something new to try to get her, developed, unscared. So, I don't know. Didn't work. I got her back in here now, folks. And every little while we'll be checking in with her to see how she's progressing. And like I said, hopefully she's going to progress the same as her brother Chewy. Bubbles, you want some treats? Bubbles, here, right here. Bubbles. You okay, Bubs? Come on, Bubbles. I just gave you those treats. I just gave you those treats. That's it for the video today, folks. Hopefully you enjoyed following the progress. I can honestly say now that that Chateau du Palais chicken house is about 98% finished, which is pretty good. It's only been 2 years. And if you haven't seen the video, it was just 1 or 2 episodes ago when I built this chicken yard for all of the chickens, and we free-range the chickens for the first time. So I'll put it up on the screen in case you haven't seen it, okay? Thanks for watching. You guys take care.